Welcome to Artificial Intelligence with Song-arrhea and Yasik. The show will begin shortly. Please enjoy our artificially intelligent playlist while you wait. This is the calm before the storm, or perhaps the storm before the calm. It really only matters if you like our form. If you don't, it might be considered a bomb. But we bomb, I know, cause I was told by my mom. But she said it's slightly different, I think. Waiting room. This is the waiting room music. This is the waiting room music that we chose for the waiting room. Maybe you just tuned in during this lyric. If the volume is too low, turn it up so you can hear it. This is a new show, so this song might change. But let's wait and see when Song and Yas hit the stage. This is the calm before the storm, or perhaps the storm before the calm. It really only matters if you like our form. If you don't, it might be considered a bomb. But we bomb, I know, cause I was told by my mom. But she said it's slightly different, I think. This is the end of the song.
Welcome to Artificial Intelligence with Song-arrhea. Casting the show will begin shortly. Please enjoy our artificially intelligent playlist while you wait.
This is the calm before the storm, or perhaps the storm before the calm. It really only matters if you like our form. If you don't, it might be considered a bomb. But we bomb, I know, cause I was told by my mom. But she said it's slightly different, I think. Waiting room, this is the waiting room music. This is the waiting room music that we chose for the waiting room. Maybe you just tuned in during this lyric. If the volume is too low, turn it up so you can hear it. This is a new show, so the song might change. But let's wait and see when Song and Yas hit the stage. This is the calm before the storm, or perhaps the storm before the calm. It really only matters if you like our form. If you don't, it might be considered a bomb. But we bomb, I know, cause I was told by my mom. But she said it's slightly different, I think. Technology is changing, our lives are rearranging. We go about our daily lives. People fear all the AI, but not I, not we. Gonna use this tool for positivity. It's artificial intelligence with Song-arrhea and Yazik. Gonna hop the fence from analog to digital. We're gonna give a look that's quizzical. Gonna keep the process visible. It lasts 1 year because we couldn't decide on how to end it. Hope it does not negatively affect our friendship. Artificial intelligence with Song-arrhea and Yazik. Gonna hop the fence from analog to digital. We're gonna give a look that's quizzical. Gonna keep the process visible. So that's right here. The song is over and we gotta go, but we hope you all enjoy the show. Artificial intelligence with Song-arrhea and Yazik. Gonna hop the fence from analog to digital. We're gonna give a look that's quizzical. Gonna keep the process visible. The song is over and we gotta go, but we hope you all enjoy the show.
How about now? Can you hear me? Jesus. All right. Well, that's why we have episode 0, right? River, can you hear? Yep, working now. Can you hear Yazik? Yazik, introduce yourself again. Yazik is muted too. All right, so let me fix that because I am an asshole. All right. Oh, hang on one second. Audio input capture. Cancel. That's not what we want. All right. Well, since hang on, fudge it. Mic capture. Ah, jeez. Properties, advanced. No, properties. Let's try that. And let's. Oh, jeez. If I do this, we might get feedback. Well, at least, yeah, dude. Okay, here we go. Let's try this now. Yazik.
Hello.
Can you hear Yazik now?
I can hear me now, but that's fine. Can everyone else hear me?
If you can hear you, then everyone else should be able to hear you, and hopefully we don't get a loop back or a feedback loop rather.
No, we don't want to divide by 0, bro. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So audio's working for both of us. Oh shit! And then I punched the mic. Okay.
Oh no.
We're all
okay,
good.
Well, good.
We're all good.
Great.
So
Welcome. Artificial intelligence. This is the first. Technically, this is like preseason, right, for sports. The first episode is technically next week, but we wanted to go ahead and do it, feel it out, see how it goes.
yeah, and then we get a feel for it, you get a feel for it, and yeah. So the idea here is we're making stuff, right? We've been making stuff for years, since high school, basically.
Yeah.
We're in our 40s now. So
yeah.
So, there's a lot of AI, it's gonna take our jobs. This is not about that. This is more about how can we use this to have a good time, and that's what we're gonna do. And so just to kind of give you guys a little bit of an overview of the show, every week is gonna have a theme, and we will be doing that theme, opening the show with that theme, and we've already got 2 songs each lined up. And would you mind telling them today's theme if I forgot it already? Because I think I did.
Yeah. So this week's theme, today's theme is self-control, and I also just would note that moving forward, essentially what we're going to be doing on this show is. We're going to be, along with the audience, me and Song together, going to be writing and reviewing AI-generated music. So essentially, the idea is that each week, at the end of the episode, we'll pick a theme for the next week's episode. Song and I will each write lyrics to songs. We will pick our genres for one another. That'll happen off stream, so it'll kind of be a surprise each week, like who got what genre. And then we each get 3 generative runs to pick one or the top 2 best ones, and then we listen to those at the beginning of the show, and then once we're done with all of that stuff and listening and talking about it, then we can build live on stream with folks in chat. So based on your recommendations as to genre, but this week's theme is self-control, and you had pop punk, right? Is that what I gave you?
You gave me pop punk alternative, and I gave Yazik vocal jazz. So it's a bit of a, it's a thing, right? Like I make electronic music for the most part. I've done rock and stuff like that, and obviously Yazik does hip hop, and I do a little bit of that too, and among other things, right? So we're kind of multifaceted in a way, but this is kind of a thing where we can delve into genres that we haven't done ourselves before, and it's crazy, right? Like from a composer standpoint or a lyricist standpoint, like we have our modes of how to do things, and then you got to sit there, record all the stuff to get that idea out of your head. Well, now we don't need that, right? We can just get the idea out, and either release it that way, which is okay, or you could even use that, whatever you got, and then turn that into something real. But
right.
Anyways,
Yeah, it makes for great reference tracks.
100%.
Even if you're not releasing them as they are. And this is just a quick note for me. Like, this is software that I dreamed of when I was a kid, when I was a young musician.
Right.
It was, because obviously, like, learning an instrument and improving in an instrument and getting more skilled at it takes time and repetition, and it's arduous. And it's not that it's not rewarding,
Right.
but sometimes, it's just like, sometimes I'd just like to make the song without having to make the song. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the medium is not the art.
Especially for someone like me who tends to steer towards what makes me laugh. Like, sometimes you don't want to take it too seriously, and then you know what, if I just want a song to come out just to make myself laugh, well, fuck it, I'll just use AI.
Yeah.
But anyways, that said, let's get into our songs. So I'll play Yazik's first. We're gonna get into some vocal jazz, self-control. So
Yeah,
also for these iterations, we're only giving each, like, because the theme is self-control, and we've been using Suno now for a couple weeks, maybe a little bit longer. Way longer than that, probably, maybe about a month. You tend to use a lot of points. So in that noted, right? With that said, we're only allowing ourselves 3 iterations. That means 6 outputted songs. And this week we chose the best 2 each, and we're gonna hear them. So here is Self-Control version 3 by Yazik, vocal jazz.
Can anyone save me? I got 17 windows open. I should really try to get to bed early. Here's hoping. Too much candy, it's a way of emotional coping. Can anyone save me from myself? Can anyone hear me? I had 7 new ideas this week. I should really try to finish one before I get too deep. Got no focus. Sometimes I don't listen, I wait to speak. Can anyone hear me over my voice? I need self-control.
Nice.
If you got it for sale, I'll buy it. I promise I'll really try it. This cold life takes its toll. I need self-control.
I like the way
I'm
that
looking for answers. I need some discipline in my life. I should really try to admit I'm the reason for my own strife. Spend all my tokens, that's just reality. Cuts like a knife. Looking for answers, lost in the fog. I need self-control. If you got it for sale, I'll buy it. I promise I'll really try it. This cold life takes its toll. I need self-control. Almost 40, still can't trust myself. I'm my own worst enemy, a danger to my own mental health. I need self-control. If you got it for sale, I'll buy it. I promise I'll really try it. This cold life takes its toll. I need self-control.
The vocals came out really nice.
I need self-control.
All right.
And then musically, it gets a little like off
Yeah.
towards the end. Interestingly, like it starts doing its own thing.
So one thing I've noticed, and we'll talk about this now, right? So, one thing too, if it's possible for you to turn your output, your mic output up a little bit, that would be great, because I can't hear you at all. I can only hear me.
Are the salt of the earth.
All right, so we're not gonna promote
How's
someone
that?
else's song.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's much better. And then I turned the audio here down. All right. So one of the things that I've noticed, if you look here, you wrote outro, right? I've been writing
Yes.
end. End,
Oh, okay.
end seems to work. Not all the time. Not all the time. But end seems to work pretty well. Like, it'll give it an ending. And that's one of the things that we're trying to point out doing this podcast, right? Like, we'll explain all the little tips and tricks that we've discovered doing this without using a tutorial or anything like that. We just kind of went ad hoc, just all the way in, right?
Yeah, for sure. And that's a big piece of it, I think, too, because, like, you know, I'm a believer that this is not something that's just as easy as pushing a button, because I've been working with it for a month or so now.
Yeah.
And these kind of things and conversations, I think, will show that kind of nuance. Because actually, if you go to the top, I was going to make a quick note about, like, so one of the rules that we've made amongst ourselves for the show as far as making stuff is that, you know, you have to use, I'd say that we give each other kind of 2 prompts for the genre, and then we have to use at least those 2, and we can add on to it if we want. Now, when I made these songs, the first 2 that I ran were only with your prompts of vocal jazz female vocalist, and they didn't turn out very great. The first, you know, every time you generate, it generates you 2 songs. So as he was saying earlier, we each get 3 generations for a total of 6 songs, which sounds like a lot of songs, but some of them aren't that great, like these first 2. So what I added in this one, and then subsequently in the other one, which is one of the reasons I think that it's better, is the word soulful.
Yeah.
Because I found different genres have different effects with that stuff too. But, you know, like we've used before, like energetic vocalist or like upbeat, stuff like that can guide it a little. And I think soulful almost makes them make an effort for the vocalist to be clearer.
Right.
Because I was really surprised at that. In fact, on this other one that I wrote, I have lounge in there, and I removed it for this one and just put soulful.
Right.
And it still gave me that same kind of clarity with the vocals, which is nice.
Yeah, man, this one came out pretty nice. I have no complaints, right? I mean, how can you complain? You're putting in words into a computer, and you're getting music out of it. It's kind of wild, right?
Yeah, it's way fun. I really like it.
So now, for these 2, so we have 4 songs. I think maybe I'll play one of mine next. So we got a kind of a mixture. Yeah. So we'll do the first one that I have. Actually, this is the very first one that came out. You know, every time you put in a prompt and then you put in your vocals or whatever, we put our own vocals in. Because, or not our own vocals, our own lyrics. We are lyricists just because. And in my opinion, the AI lyrics are pretty wishy-washy. So that said, the way we write too, like, has changed, I think, using AI. Because, like, if I'm writing a song and I have the idea in my head, I can write a whole sentence out and that's all right. I know what to do. But when you're typing in the lyrics, like the way you type them in, the punctuation matters, capitalization matters, even spelling things the wrong way to get it to pronounce the thing the right way. Like if you type in live, it might say live. So now you got to try to spell it Lyve or something like that to get what you want. So anyways, here's my song, Self-Control version 1.
I got carried away.
Oh yeah. Alternative pop punk. I typed in heavy and I put in male singer just to see if I could get something a little less wimpy.
Went a little extra with my recreate. Should have stopped, I was ahead today. Now I'm tired like the dead, but I'm shaking my head, cause I could have stopped when it felt complete, but it never does. I always start another one, having way too much fun, but now I know I need some self-control. I gotta pull myself from the hole. I spent it all, made the call, and now I gotta hold back up before I lose it all. I need self-control, otherwise I'm gonna work myself to the bone. There'll be nothing left to me, devoid of energy, but I can feel it deep down in my soul. Self-control. I was pretty vague when I started this song, but that's what I've been talking about all along. I keep making them and making them, making them and making them. Yeah. And I keep draining them and draining them. My tokens are depleted, no. I do the same thing when I get a sweet tooth. I'm going ham on the pie and tiramisu. I'm going way too hard. I better slow down before I shit me on. I need some self-control. I gotta pull myself from the hole. I spent it all, made the call, and now I gotta hold back up before I lose it all.
Yeah.
I need self-control, otherwise I'm gonna work myself to the bone. There'll be nothing left to me, devoid of energy, but I can feel it deep down in my soul. Self-control. If you like me, and you might be, I overdo my favorite things, like eating chicken wings, and I can't stop
how the guitar solo's down here. It should have been up here, but
I need
whatever.
some self-control. I gotta pull myself from the hole. I spent it all, made the call, and now I gotta hold back hope before I lose it all. I need self-control, otherwise I'm gonna work myself to the bone. There'll be nothing left to me, devoid of energy, but I can feel it deep down in my soul. Self-control.
I should have done this earlier. So last time I did this, turned it down. Now I can actually hear you.
Oh, cool.
I need some self-control. I gotta pull myself from the hole. I spent it all, made the call, and now I gotta hold back hope before I lose it all. I need self-control, otherwise I'm gonna work myself to the bone.
I think I hit the genre here. There's definitely elements of bands that I grew up listening to. Like I heard a little bit of Yellow Card in there, which is fun.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
There's I mean,
whole, like, genre of those guys, like the All-American Rejects.
yeah. That's in there too, for sure. This part I think was one of my favorite parts. The bridge.
Oh,
with-
yeah.
Yeah, like it just.
Yeah, and I was saying, like, the capitals, that makes such a difference. It's like, and it gives you, like, volume, and they recognize, like, I don't know, I think the AI is good at picking up on that stuff where it's like, I see what he's doing
Right.
with the lyrics.
So that's my version one, and like it's kind of hard, right? Like it's like when someone tells you if you have a guitar, hey, play me a song, right? Wait, hang on, I'm looking at the chat. They're saying you're reverbing. That's because of the way that I'm routing the audio. Yazik can't hear the audio from here, so I have him on a loop back. So anything that he's saying is coming through that as well, which is why we're getting that. So apologies. We will work that out in the next episode or so.
You can also, if you want, just watch the stream on my side.
Yeah, well, I don't know how delayed it's gonna be. That's the issue, right?
Oh, no, it's like right on top of it.
Oh, okay. Well, then let me turn off the loop back on your side. Right.
Like that scene in Tommy Boy when he's like, Luke.
All right. So now I think I
Sorry,
might have
the
fixed
fan.
it. We will see. We'll find out. It's cool. It's not terrible. Darth Yazik. All right. Let's hit Yazik's second song, or yeah, well, technically second, right? This is Self-Control V2, and this one has the lounge addition to the prompt for the genre. So let's give this a listen, and yeah.
Can anyone save me? I got 17 windows open. I should really try to get to bed early, here's hoping. Too much candy, it's a way of emotional coping. Can anyone save me from myself? Can anyone hear me? I had 7 new ideas
Yeah,
this
this
week.
one's way nicer.
I should really try to finish one before I get too deep. Got no focus, sometimes I don't listen, I wait to speak. Can anyone hear me over my voice? I need self-control. If you got it for sale, I'll buy it. I promise I'll really try it. This cold life takes its toll. I need
I
self-control.
love that little break, you know?
I'm looking
Oh,
for
yeah.
answers.
It makes
I
me
need some
appreciate the music
discipline in my
genre.
life.
For sure.
I should really try to admit I'm the reason for my own strife. Spent all my tokens, that's just reality. Cuts like a knife, looking for answers lost in the fog. I need self-control. If you got it for sale, I'll buy it. I promise I'll really try it. This cold life takes its toll. I need self-control.
Nice. love a good piano solo.
Yeah.
Almost 40, still can't trust myself. I'm my own worst enemy. A danger to my own mental health. I need self-control. If you got it for sale, I'll buy it. I promise I'll really try it. This cold life takes its toll. I need self-control.
Dude, nice ending. Nice ending.
And that one was outro.
Yeah,
So
it's weird.
It's weird. Like, I think the genre matters too, right? Like,
Right. Yeah, because some songs, depending on the genre, do end versus fading out or whatever. I guess it depends. All right, so let's do my last one. I think I did one first, so let's do three. But that one's way better than the second one, I think, or I guess V2 is better than V3 in my opinion.
Yeah,
just
I
from
agree.
like, because that's what I was expecting to hear, right? Like that type of a thing, where you got the jazz going, but then the kind of smoky voice on top of it, like, you know, like I could hear that in a jazz club, you know, in the back of my mind, because I've never been to a jazz club, so, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think the lounge. Yeah, I think lounge makes all the difference in that, because that one is the one that has lounge in
Right.
the genre prompt.
And it has like, it almost gives it like the acoustics of a small club. So like it's interesting, like things that you don't necessarily think about. Like if you're mixing, right? Like for me, I'm making electronic music. I'm just kind of plugging away, putting things where I want to hear them, but I'm not thinking about how that would sound in a room. I guess I should, but I don't do things live, right? Like, so there's no reason for me to kind of think about that, but I do think about that when I'm doing mastering, but that's a whole nother topic. So let's get into Self-Control Volume 3, or Version 3 rather. And caveat, or segue, or I don't know what the word is here, but I think the other one is better than this one. That's just my opinion. So one thing I added was "I need" at the end of this.
Pretty vague when I started this song. That's what I've been talking about all along. I keep making them and making them, making them and making them. And I keep trading them and trading them. My tokens are complete, and no, I do the same thing when I get a sweet tooth. I'm going ham on the pies, you and me, so I'm going way too hard. I better slow down before I shit the yard. I need some self-control. I gotta pull myself from the hole. I spent it all, I made the call, and now I gotta hold back all before I lose it all.
This one developed
I need
nicely.
self-control, as I'm gonna work myself to the bone. There'll be nothing left for me to fight of energy.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Deep down in my soul,
This one
I need
developed
self-control.
nicely. Like I kind of like got better as it went.
Right.
If you're like me, and you might be, I overdo my favorite things like eating chicken wings. And I can't stop, cause I won't stop, and so I get fucked. I always do this to myself. I need some self-control. I gotta pull myself from the hole. I spent it all,
Yeah, that's great.
and now I gotta hold back home before I lose it all.
I do like what it did with this chorus, where it kind of did the halftime, you know?
There'll be nothing left for
Yeah.
me to fight of energy, but I can feel it deep down in my soul. I need self-control.
This is a very pop punk guitar solo.
Oh, this riff is for sure.
Self-control. I gotta pull myself from the hole. I spent it all, I made the call, and now I gotta hold back home before I lose it all. I need
This is sounds like Blink-182's Cheshire Cat stuff.
Right.
There'll be nothing left of me, devoid of energy, but I can feel it deep down in my soul. I need self-control.
It's almost a violin.
Yeah.
I need some self-control. I gotta pull myself from the hole. I fed it
You can edit the displayed lyrics? Interesting. I didn't know that.
before I lose it all.
Oh yeah, I've seen that before.
I think because what we were talking about, where you have to spell stuff incorrectly to get what you want, that makes sense. Good job, Suno.
My soul, I need self-control.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that they're aware. You gotta do
I need some
phonetics.
self-control.
And it's gonna loop, so I'm gonna stop it there. But there's that song. So did it hit the genre? I mean, kinda. It's not too far off. It's this one definitely
What
leans
is
more.
that? Did you add one? Did you add stuff to that one?
Yeah, so what I noticed, like, from the first one, right? Like, this part right here, which is, but I can feel it deep down in my soul, self-control. I need self-control to make it just make more sense, because earlier it's just
Right.
stating the the title of the song. So why? What is this? So I need the self-control, which kind of makes the song make more sense, because otherwise it's like, well, what the fuck am I listening to this for? But then again, I mean, why do we listen to things that like Lil Jon records? It's not like there's anything like profound in there. It's just for fun, right? So, but yeah, so
Yeah, it's I like that one. And you know what else I noticed too is like we were pretty close lyrically.
Right.
In a lot of areas, like it was a lot of like spinning our tokens, eating stuff we're not supposed to eat, like,
yeah,
and then just the whole vibe of like I need self control. Like I was kind of not shocked, but it was a little surprising to be like, oh, we were really on the same tip because we really had no other. I mean, all we knew was self control.
right. I mean it's funny too, because we're like around the same age. Dealing with the same kind of issues with life as at large, right? So it kind of works out that way. We'll see what happens in the future episodes. Which directions we take, depending on the theme, of course. But that said, let's create something with everybody. In this,
Yeah, let's do it.
in the same vein, we're gonna stick with the theme. The theme will be self-control.
Now, River said that he's curious to see what Suno would do with deathcore. By the way, we haven't actually like specified that, just so everybody knows if you didn't. The website that we're using is called Suno AI.
Yes, it is.
And it is the other major one is Udio, which I really don't have much experience with. It's giving me very like Android iPhone vibes, and I've picked the lane with Suno. I just like it better.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat until I run out of points this time. We'll see.
Yeah. Which may be sooner than you think. That's just another, just some more info for people who might be curious. So if you have a Suno account, you can create a free account and you get 50 credits a day. It's 5 credits per song, but remember it runs 2 with one generation. So technically it's 10 credits per generation. And so that's essentially 5 songs a day, or technically 10, but 5 runs a day.
Right.
And which sounds like a lot, but when you get into this stuff and start using them, you can pay, I think the $8 a month account is 2,500 credits, which again sounds like a lot, right? Because that's like what, 500 songs?
Right. But then if you're
getting through them real fast.
yeah, if you're blasting them out and not, like, just not even taking names, just like like I want this and it's not coming out right. I'm gonna keep going. That is what you shouldn't do, right? Like take your iterations, refine, and then regenerate. That's kind of what we're gonna learn together here today. Speaking of which, at the end of this, we have our pal Mangy Carl. He's been sending me some of the stuff he's been making. Not only just with Suno, but also using his own audio, inputting it into Suno, and getting other things out based off of what he's putting in. So it's like human input on the AI outside of just the text and the genre. So we have a segment for Carl, which I don't have completely set up, but we will definitely listen to one of Carl's songs probably Clouds Falling. Carl, I know you're in here, but if you want me to send or play a different one, let me know. But that said, let's get into this. So now our
Okay, so you want to try and do deathcore. This is another quick note just with all of this process. Like, I won't speak for Song, but like, at least for me, I haven't written lyrics before the music for over a decade.
right.
Because
Same.
being a rapper, like, it's about finding the beat, finding the rhythm. And so I've not, since high school really, well, maybe since like my early 20s, have I written lyrics and then developed the music after the fact. Now, granted, I'm not directly developing the music, obviously, with this, but from like a mechanical standpoint, I'm writing the lyrics with the idea of the music in mind,
Right.
which has been a fun exercise for me.
And I've always written lyrics to the audio, right? So this is completely foreign to me, writing the lyrics first. But that said, like, especially having my experience in hip hop with, like, even just with Yazik alone, you know, where you take breaths and what words come after certain words, like, you don't want to give yourself tongue twisters, especially when you're doing with the AI, because the shit comes out weird. So you have to kind of have that rhythm already in your head, like, okay, this is how I'm gonna say this. The dog went to the store yesterday, you know, like, or whatever it is. And we'll do that. But now we're in deathcore, it might be a little bit different. I
find myself counting syllables frequently.
Right, and
it's like, okay, and like trying to keep uniformity throughout, like, if for no other reason than to make it easier for Suno to like discern where I'm trying to go rhythmically.
right. So we got deathcore. Let's get another one from everybody else, because deathcore, it does deathcore well. I will say, Mangy knows what I'm talking about. We've done one before. What I actually enjoy, what I think Suno does best is, well, not best, but within the same realm. Like, dark wave and deathcore sound very similar, according to Suno. So, like, it adds a little bit more of a melodic kind of tinge to the vocals, because deathcore, it's going to be a lot of screaming, a lot of guttural, but that's okay, right? We can do things like this, melodic. Add that in there, add it into the mix, and see what happens. And heavy breakdowns.
Yeah, breakdowns.
Okay, let's write that down.
And sometimes I feel like those things happen, or rather, those things help or guide, and then sometimes I feel like they don't. Like,
sometimes they don't even.
I've generated.
I was gonna say, sometimes it just doesn't. It just ignores it. Like, if it doesn't make sense,
Yeah.
or it'll just make the whole song weird. Sometimes, like, you'll just get these weird
yeah.
garbled vocals, and that's it. So it's
like
weird.
It's like you overloaded it with stuff, and like, yeah, like there've been some generations I've done where it's like, oh, cool, they very clearly added this prompt that I put in there, and then there are other times where it's like, oh, it's like I didn't even put anything there.
Right. So, I'm gonna kind of take the reins on this one, as far as the structure. So I think this time we're gonna start with a chorus, especially with stuff like deathcore. To me, it's like in your face right away, right? So, starting with the verse to me might not be right, but I mean, let's take Rivers' opinion, because he did recommend the genre. And
Also, you know, it is deathcore, so and just because it's about self-control doesn't mean it has to be about having self-control. It could be about losing self-control.
this is true. This is true. That said, I'm gonna start writing. Maybe we'll use that as the direction. So before we needed self-control, now we don't care, right? Let's see.
All right. Well, I'm gonna write a verse while you're doing that.
And while that's happening, I'm gonna play Uncle Buck, the new the new one, while we're writing, right?
Uncle Buck, Uncle Buck, Uncle Buck, Uncle Buck, Uncle Buck, Uncle Buck, Uncle Buck. Do you have your ears handy? Let me tell you all about the legend known as John Candy. He's an actor, though he does it quite comedic. He does his job so good you believe it. Hear me now, I'm quite quite serious. He was the shit in Delirious, not to be confused with Eddie Murphy's special, also delirious. He was a writer for a soap and it was Sweeps Week. Then he slipped and fell. Woke up in the show that he was writing. I don't remember the whole story. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, but I promise you it's the opposite of boring. So you better watch it. Now go do it. Do it. Do you have your ears handy? Let me tell you all about the legend known as John Candy. He's an actor, though he does it quite comedic. He does his job so good you believe it. Hear him now. Planes, trains, automobiles. John Candy, Biggie the
I also
Fields.
need to
Remember
get into
Home
the
Alone?
habit
He
of,
was the
like,
one in the
writing in
polka band, always
Google
willing to
Docs
help
so
out
that I
his
have
fellow
some
man.
sort of
John
a
Candy,
spell check.
G-O-A-T.
Say that again. I'm sorry. I had the music up too loud.
Oh, you're good. I'm trying to get into the habit of writing in Google Docs so that I have some sort of a spell check.
Oh, right.
Because that's another thing you'll find in this is that typos are your worst enemy.
Right. I mean, it does highlight them for me. I don't know if you don't see that when you do it. Because like if I put
Yes, as in Suna, yeah.
but grammatical errors, not so much just spell checking, but yeah.
Let me tell you all about the legend known as John Candy. He's an actor, though he does it quite comedic. He does his job so good you believe it. Hear me now. You have your ears handy. Let me tell you all about the legend known as John Candy. He's an actor, though he does it quite comedic. He does his job so good you believe it. Hear me now.
All right. So I got the chorus written. No control of my faculties, and it doesn't even matter to me. Not anymore, forevermore. Letting go of my better judgment. I don't care, not at all, so fudge it. we're going hard, but then censoring ourselves at the end. A little extra tinge of self-control there, right? Are you shooting me a verse?
I am momentarily.
All right, so I'm gonna start verse 1. I'm gonna get the rest of the structure set up here.
This got way crazy, way fast, but I think it'll be fun.
That's fine, man.
I just sent it to you in Discord.
Okay, cool. John Candy.
This is turned into a different thing, brother. Oh, you know what? You may actually want to change that spelling. This is a good example of the phonetic
Where did you send it to me?
in Discord.
DM or in the? Because I don't see it.
Oh, whoops. I gotta delete this. I didn't mean to put that there.
All right, so I'm setting up structure here for anybody who's watching this. So we got our chorus, and then the verse is just ready to go. I added another chorus. We do typically verse, chorus, bridge, sometimes another verse, and then the chorus. So I'm just setting these up that way. All right, now I got it. Oh,
Also,
man.
anybody in chat, especially River, if there's like a line or an idea that you have for, we can put in like a bridge or whatever.
Yeah, why don't we leave the bridge up to up to chat? That would be fun. So you can put a little stank on it for us. You know what I mean?
Now, bridges are easy because they can kind of be whatever you want. I also will say, like, as we've been doing this, I feel like I've gotten better, or rather I should say faster, at writing lyrics. And I also find myself just more often throughout the day turning stuff into songs. I've kind of always been like that my whole life, where it's like something funny or something goofy happens and then you kind of like make a little ditty about it in your head. but I'm doing it a lot more often because of this, because I've been able to turn these things into songs that I normally never would have developed at all because it would have just been kind of a passing thought. But now, these AI tools have made it so easy for you to just like dump those thoughts in, and then it's like, okay, well, we'll make something. Oh, hold on. River's got something there for you. I'm going to copy and put it to you in Discord. Actually, you're probably better off just reading it off the chat. Hey, what's happening, Kirk? Thanks for hopping in here and checking it out. This is artificial intelligence. This is essentially where we're building out listening to, writing, and analyzing AI music. AI-generated music, we use Suno AI. This week's theme is self-control. And we already earlier played the songs that we made for it, and we're currently developing this one live, which is going to be a deathcore melodic song with a heavy breakdowns. I wonder if we should designate maybe gravelly male vocalist. Although I don't know if Suno recognizes gravelly.
Well, something that I've let's see. Oh, hang on. Did I spell it wrong? How do you spell guttural?
Oh, I'm not the best speller. G-U-T-U-R-A-L.
No, really?
Death growl.
Oh, two T's. Sorry, there it is.
G-U-T-U-R. Oh yeah, no, it is two. Actually, I'm seeing it spelled two ways. Who knows?
All right. Bridge.
And then Suno might say it wrong anyway. Still.
So this is kind of fun because it's like, hang on, how do I? Can I not do that? All right, I guess
this is just for chat in case anybody's interested. It's got a list of all the genres and styles you can use on Suno. Yeah, like emotion. There's like melancholy, orchestral, metal, deathcore, death metal. Oh, voice. Oh wow, you can do lounge singer. Torchy. What does torchy mean?
Okay, hang on. So I'm taking what River said and I'm going to add an extra line just so we have everything. Because if we throw in like odd numbered stuff, sometimes that acts weird too. So the way I like to do things is I'll break it up per line. Unless I want something, like if I'm writing a rap song where I want like fast lyrics, I only add commas. I don't hit enter. I don't do any of that stuff. So it's one long run-on sentence. That's usually how you can get that sort of thing. But in this case, it's got to be math, right? It's deathcore. There's gonna be some math involved.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
so that's a good question, Kirk. It is. You can kind of do it both ways. Well, it's not conversational. Unfortunately, you can really only just kind of run it and hope what you get is good. As for the generative options, what we do and the way that we use it is as Song is doing now, where we put in our own lyrics, and then you'll see underneath the lyric box is a style of music box where you can denote what kind of genres you want, or any kind of other direction that you might want to give it. Like we've got heavy breakdowns in there, guttural screams. You can do things like that. They don't always work, but they can work. And then you just name the song and then you can run it. Now, there is an option to just generate based on prompt. So in the regular default box, you have the style of music box and the box for the title, and you also have a box that is the prompt, which you could treat like an AI image generator. So you could essentially say like, a deathcore metal song about, lovers lost or something. And you can just run that and it'll give you something. But Song and I have had a lot of, I think, success and a lot more fun. And it's a lot more of like a musical exercise, writing all your own lyrics out. Oh, it does. We'll definitely be running one here. In fact, if you want to, Song, if you want to play that Hearts Ajar song I sent you.
Hearts Ajar. Yep, got it.
That's one I wrote today, just for fun.
All right, I'm gonna play it in the background. Uh-oh, there it is. All right.
Wanna see what happens? I don't have a plan, just letting it flow. Not be prepared, never stopped me before. About to hit 'em with the ready to set and to go.
All right.
Whom it may concern, whoever decides to listen to the transmission. Still got a lot to learn, but I keep waking up.
Check for any major typos.
Yep, that's
I've gotten into like a habit of like before I run it. And then another thing too that I've had to be more disciplined about is listening all the way through before running more.
right.
Because more than once I've gotten to like V3 and been like, oh, this says tree instead of 3.
Yeah.
So now all of these are worthless.
What sucks too is if you put in like all caps, it does not care about your spelling.
That's true.
I think we're done. We got chorus, verse 1, chorus, verse 2. Verse 2 is a little longer than verse 1, but that's okay. We're learning.
Oh, and we're gonna need a name for this river. We name it. And then this can be the first like official artificial intelligence song made on stream. See, that was pretty quick. What did we put that together in like 10-15 minutes?
Something like that. We started the chat stuff at about 9:30. So, and it's 9:52 now, so let's say 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Losing control. That works. That's
Okay.
perfect. And it's self-control, so just do losing control. And if we want, we can do, do you want to do 3 runs on this? I mean, I guess we can just see how these
Yeah,
first
let's
two
see how
come
it
out.
goes. I mean, if we get a banger off the first one, hell yeah, let's go.
Sometimes that happens, folks.
It does. We've had plenty of that happen before. So here we go. Now that we've written all our lyrics out, we've written out our genre here, and Kirk, you're
Oh,
going to
and
get to see this happen live, so this is fun.
And a quick thing as well, too, because I forget that, people that don't know this. Well, it's like second nature to us at this point. You can see that he's denoted things by verse, chorus, bridge. In fact, at the front, he's got the instrumental intro.
Yep.
It can recognize all of that stuff. And it's, it definitely keeps that in mind when it's running through it. So.
Speaking of which, thanks for reminding me, I didn't put end or outro.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Uh,
That's helpful because that's another thing you can do is it can just loop around for eternity.
all right, and let's throw a solo in here too, because why not?
You can say guitar solo, yeah, Kirk, and it'll usually do it.
And I'll add the denotation of shredding.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And let me also add. Let's make it short and see if it makes a difference. All right, got the outro, and just for fun, let's throw an end. So we'll do it twice. All right. I think I'm happy with how it looks. No, let's give it a V1 too, just so we know.
We're only using 1,729 out of 3,000 characters you have for the lyrics. And that's kind of bonkers that you have 120 characters for style.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's just like with any other kind of AI, like if you overload it, then,
Yeah, it won't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
So what's nice too is you have these like recommendations or suggestions, which is kind of fun because like what the hell is punk blues? I've never heard of that before. So it adds stuff that may or may not even exist. So if you're, feeling saucy, you want to throw something in there. Like if I threw in lullaby, it might change the way this song sounds completely. But we'll go with what we got first, right? So here we go. I'm going to click create and it'll show up at the bottom here. As soon as one shows up, I will play it.
And it doesn't take long, these things, really. Especially with the paid account, because I think we get, like, priority.
Yeah, that is true. So here we go. Losing Control version 1.1. taking verse 1 as a chorus. Weird.
Wow. Got a little Tron there.
Yeah. Oh, nice change up. Nice.
Yeah.
Alright, here comes your bridge, River.
Yeah, you're just sick.
Interesting. Not bad. Not bad.
I mean, that is very shreddy.
So, first initial reaction, right? It's very, very heavy, almost to the point where you can't even you can't even understand what the guy is saying. So that said, if we're gonna do a second iteration, my suggestion, and I'm gonna do it now, is remove guttural screams. I think that might be a little too much, but that's my opinion. The other thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to add a hyphen after death, because if you look at that the sheet where it has all the Suno genres and the little things you can throw in, core is one of the things you can throw in after anything with the hyphen, so it changes that somehow. I don't know exactly what the formula is, but some of the stuff I've written in the past, I wrote jazz core, and it gave me some interesting things. So I don't know how much it actually matters, but it is listed, so I try to use it. And I wrote it the wrong way before, so that's one thing. Melodic, it seemed to ignore, but that's okay. This is only the first iteration. We're going to hear the second one now. Yazik, thoughts before I move on?
Well, I just was going to answer Kirk's question in chat. I don't think that you can really direct it to do specific pieces in specific ways, as much as you can just give direction on the piece as a whole. But that's one of the exciting things about this stuff, right? Because I suspect that in time, in the future, those kind of tools will be added. I would hope that at some point we would be able to edit a piece once it's done, or to your point, like direct specifically to say, like, this is what I want at these moments of the song.
Now,
So, you know, hopefully as it gets more advanced, we do get those options.
to that point though, I do think you can influence the way it says certain things. Like, for example, in the song here, at the end, I wrote self-control or control with a lot of O's to make sure that it says it longer, right? So it does help. Not all the time, but if you do those things, it helps. Now, the only problem is it's typically going to be doing this in the English language. So if two O's change the way a word sounds, like for cool, right? Like that sounds a certain way, but if I only put COL, it would be coal. So
Right.
those things matter too. And if you're trying to say coal for longer, you'd have to spell it wrong or in a different way, if that makes any sense. But let's listen to the other one. However, I see more stuff. Wonder if you could get only guttural during the chorus. I see what you're saying. I mean, we could try that. Let's hear what the second iteration gave us, and then we'll try and do that. I like this one better already. Yeah, dude. Not exactly a solo, but it might. Ah, there it is. Nice.
I can see that reverse. It is very heavily down.
Oh yeah, I agree. Got a second solo. I think I can call it there because I know it's gonna get weird after this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But we should just show it, right? Because so this happens. Like there is an ending. Oh, we might actually have a. Nope, we're getting a breakdown. I'm glad I didn't stop it. End it. I mean, come on.
That's good.
That is the obvious winner of the two, in my opinion.
For sure. That one was way better.
Thanks for the assist, River. I'm going to tag you in this one. I like this one. Let me rename it as well.
Yeah, it's actually really good.
Edit details.
The breakdown was bonkers, dude. Those drums was like... That's the kind of stuff that only Dragon Force can do with drums. Those double pedals just...
All right, cool. So there we go. I like that one. I think that's a keeper right there.
Yeah, no doubt. That was really
And
good.
now your name is immortalized forever in Suno AI. So one of the things too is I want to make these songs available out, like, because I don't like to put these public in Suno anyways. And main reason for that is like the things that we do. Granted, this is a podcast showing the things that we do. I don't necessarily want to have all the stuff just out there because it shows like kind of some of the prompts and stuff like that. So I'm not sure exactly with the. I just don't like it. I don't want any ideas getting used improperly, in my opinion. I don't know if Yaz feels the same way, but that's just me. I don't like putting these things public that way. But I will put them in our Discord whenever we get that set up. This is session 0, so we don't have any of that stuff ready to go yet. But stay tuned. I'm sure we'll have a link to it for the next show. Now,
Yeah, most definitely.
now that we've done the song with chat, I'd like to play Mangy Carl's.
Oh yeah, we'll
So-
do a little Carl's Corner before we
wrap
up.
up. Yeah. All right. So here we go. So he actually, yeah, I'll just do this. So he's also done some. Oh shit, Cody's in here too.
Oh, what up, brother?
He also threw some visuals on this one. I think they're good enough to display with this, so we're just gonna hear it and enjoy it as a song. And here we go. He wrote the lyrics. He wrote he put in the MIDI inputs himself for the instrumentals. So here we go. This is Clouds Falling by Mangy Carl. Oops. The only way that I could describe that. It's a very well shot film. Not much is like in a way of speaking is happening, but there's a lot of emotion going on. Or it's raining or something. There's things happening here.
Yeah, or even like a trailer for some like cyberpunk, post-apocalyptic type epic.
Agreed.
Yeah, Fifth Element. Yeah, I can totally feel that.
The Sixth Element, brother. Let's give it up for Mangy Carl. I wish I had my applause button ready to go, but I don't.
Yeah, well done, Carl. That's great.
Yeah, man. So we're definitely gonna have more Carl songs up in this piece in the future, going forward, perhaps even. And another thing too is having, you know, it doesn't even have to be something he wrote. It could be something he heard that's you know, somebody else shared with him or something like that. He'll be our pseudo curator. I like where Mangy is going with his musical stuff, and I like to see him in his progress. So this is definitely, from the first time he sent me a song to now, I mean, the level of improvement is ridiculous. So keep it up, Carl.
Yeah, it's really good. I've heard a couple of your songs, and they're all really good. So you have a knack for it, and I am a believer that this is in fact an art form. Like, you know, obviously you're gonna have people that are like, well, you're just pushing a button, but you know, I always make the argument that I'm sure people did that with the camera. People that were painters, I'm sure, said that about the camera, and obviously now we know that photography is its own nuanced form of art, and I think that this is too. And I also think that in addition to just being like a fun art form, I kind of think that this might be the future of music, in the sense of like, you know, why am I going to go out and obviously it's one thing to go enjoy live music, right? But when it comes to just like consuming music in general, Spotify and the algorithms kind of already do this, where they just, you know, they see what you like and then they build you kind of playlist. If you could build your own music for the playlist, if you could customize the lyrics about what it was about, you would totally do that. So I think as this gets easier and more widespread, and then we'll see what happens with the lawsuit stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that this is the future of music. So I'm excited to be starting a show where we dissect it and talk about it and learn it and build it and all things AI music.
Yeah, depending on the whole lawsuit and how that all goes. I mean, let's say it's fine and nothing bad happens to Suno or Yuri or whatever. Then this is its own genre in a way, because it's not the same as human music. Like, I get that argument. Some people will argue this is cheating. I can make all this stuff myself, right? I'm choosing to use this tool for a specific purpose, right? Like, at least for me, it's a way to get an idea out of my head. And sometimes it'll suggest things to me, you know, like, oh, I like this part. I'm going to do something like that, because that's exactly how I do music anyways. If I listen to something and it influences me, guess what? That's in my subconscious now. So I might inadvertently rip off something from someone else because I liked it so much and not even think about it. There's this whole thing about note progressions and how, like, you know, pop music uses the same note progression regardless of the genre. And, you know, nobody gives a shit about that. So this to me is no different. I'm not telling it, hey, make a song that sounds like Dr. Dre. Nah, not doing that, right? We're saying, this is the genre we want to do. Here's some lyrics. Fucking do something for me.
Yeah.
And
as
in fact,
a quick note on that, you can't actually do that.
Correct.
You cannot ask for a specific artist, because I imagine as part of covering their own ass legally, you can't do that.
Right.
So you can ask for genre, but I think that actually makes it even more organic or original in that sense, because it's not just pulling from a specific artist, it's pulling from all the artists of that genre, which is what we do as musicians anyway. Like you said, like, this just puts the influence in the fast lane. That's all this does.
To take that one step further, you can't even mention, like, so for example, I was writing a Street Fighter song and I put in Yoga Flame. Apparently, there's a producer whose name is Yoga Flame. Couldn't do it.
Right.
So what did I do? I don't care about the producer's name. I just want those words said. So I had to spell flame like in a weird way so that it says it still, but now it's not that producer's name.
You got to trick Suno into saying it.
Yeah, and it's not like I don't care who it sounds like because that's not my goal here. If I wanted to emulate someone, I can do that on my own, right? This is more, let's see what we get out of this new technology, and see how far we can take it, right? And this, hopefully, this podcast either sheds some light on how to use it in a way that's not being a fucking dick, where you're just like, oh, I'm gonna do this song because I want. No, we're not doing that. We're not ripping off anyone, right? There's definitely influence in the world, and that's always been a part of music. So I don't see how this is any different. But I'm not trying to use someone else's lyrics, rip off someone else's song. I mean, you could try. I don't think it would be very easy to get, plug in the song that already exists and try to get that same song. Shit ain't happening.
And I challenge people to that. If they think that it's just the push of a button, it's like, I don't know, I've made some really good stuff that took me time in terms of runs and edits and changes, and like, I don't know if you could, I mean, you might be able to roll the dice, but I think you might be surprised if you start playing with it, like how difficult it is, or rather, not that it's difficult, but it's not as easy as you might think it is from an outsider looking in. And also there's the Kirk asked save options. So it'll just stay on your account and the Suno website, but you can also download the MP3. And if you have a paid account, you can download the WAV file. And you can also download stems. Although from my understanding, that's not as broken down as we think either, right? It seems like they just have like a drum track and then like a musical instrument track.
I think it takes if you have vocals, it might be instrumental versus the vocals.
Right.
However, if you have like a DAW like FL Studio, and I think Logic has something like this as well, you can separate stems yourself. But even then, those only go so far as well. Like if you have drums, bass, other instruments, and a vocalist, you can split it those 4 ways. But you can't choose, okay, let me just remove the guitar only. So there's limitations to these things because it's using frequency response and all this stuff. It's not as simple as, okay, there's 4 tracks and this is what we're outputting. It doesn't work that way. So yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's something along those lines because some of this stuff is mixed very well for what it is, right? Some of it's not. Like the first deathcore song we had, I don't think that one was mixed as well as the second one personally. But I mean, it depends on who or what it's taking the influence from.
That's true, yeah, because if it's just listening to music, it's going to hear stuff that's not very well mixed or mastered or
right. And then I mean, you take a band like what are they called? The Strokes. They're fucking loaded, but they make their instruments sound like garbage. But that's a style, right? That's what they want. They want this sound, and that's their thing. That's their signature. Fine, go for it. I don't like it. I like some of their songs. I'm not gonna lie, but if that's the case, and this is what it's trained on. Let's just pretend, right? That it's only pulling from artists that have music out there, which technically, I mean, everything is like that, right? But my point is, depending on what you're referencing, as far as genre or whatever, these things all kind of come into play, and it may or may not know what to do with it. So anyways, I think it's a good time to sign off. We're over a little bit, but we also started a little wonky with the audio stuff. And hopefully you join us again next Sunday, probably at 9 o'clock again. I think 9 o'clock's a better time than 8:30. That would be 6 o'clock Pacific, because we are on the East Coast. And I hope you enjoy the ending theme we have here. But signing off for Bartificial Intelligence, I am Song-arrhea.
I am Yazik. Oh, and wait, we need a theme for next week.
Oh shit, that's right. So I figure if we don't choose one here, we'll go with whatever comment works, and we'll announce it at the beginning of the first episode. This is session 0. So episode 1 will be next Sunday at 9 Eastern time. So feel free to throw in the your suggestions now for the
any ideas
theme.
out there, chat, for the theme for next week? Because once we know the theme, then Song and I will, and we can do that later too. Because I kind of want to think about it, what I want to give you. Back to school. Oh, I like that idea. Now, back to school, like in general, like returning to school, or like back to school, the Rodney Dangerfield film.
I think we just
We
Dreams
can
is
do
good
both.
too, dude.
Oh, I do like Dreams. Dreams are cool.
Maybe we do Dreams.
Yeah, Kirk, I recommend you do it.
Yeah, give it a try. Like it's definitely a lot of
It's really
fun.
fun.
The learning curve is there a learning curve? I think you just try it and then you figure it out from there. I'm sure there's
Yeah,
people
a lot
that
of it's
have
trial and error.
I'm sure people have some tutorials out there. Maybe they don't. Maybe they want to just keep the knowledge to themselves, like a lot of people do that. So we're willing to share, though. That's why we're here, right? And then, yeah, you know what? If you come up with one and you like it, just shoot it to me or Yaz, however you want to do that. Because it's...
I'd be happy to share it and stuff. It's, this is all brand new territory. This being like, technically this is the dry run, the practice episode. So this will give us a good idea on how to move forward. And then, we've already spoken about like adding other people's songs in the future too, to listen to and talk about. So
yeah. So I think the theme will be for next week, Dreams. I like that. I think it's a bit vague.
yeah,
So we can kind of have fun with it. So that said, genre, Yazik.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, do we don't necessarily have to do this on stream, but I mean, I guess we can. Let's see. Well, if it's Dreams, then
Actually, you know what? No, we will do this offline. We'll do that part offline, and then we'll.
Yeah,
I like
it'll
that.
be a surprise for everybody.
Yeah.
Next week. So
Progressive
next week-
bluegrass.
Next week when we open, we'll talk a little bit about the theme, and then we'll show off our songs, and then we'll build a song
Yep.
on stream.
Same like we did this time, except it'll probably have less technical difficulties.
Yeah, hopefully.
But that said, thanks
but it's
for
all good.
thanks for joining us, everybody. Sorry to cut you off. That's another thing we got to discuss is how much I cut you off, but that's okay. We'll figure it out.
Oh, it's fine. I'm not too worried about it. I mean, as long as people are hearing the music and stuff and like catching the vibe, that's what matters.
That's true. All right, well, we're gonna sign off now. Enjoy the ending song.
We hope that you enjoyed our show. If you did, the next time you know where to go. We're really glad to have you here. Whether you are far or near, it's the worst part of the show. It's the end, shut it down, we gotta go. But hopefully this song will be stuck inside your head till the next episode. This is the end of artificial intelligence. We'll try to do it once a week. Come back in 7 days and have a peek. We're doing it all for free. But if you want to leave us a tip, there's a link, so feel free. And thanks. We hope that you enjoyed our little show. If you did, the next time you know where to go. We're really glad to have you here. Whether you are far or near, it's the worst part of the show. It's the end, shut it down, we gotta go. But hopefully this song will be stuck inside your head till the next episode. This is the end of artificial intelligence. We'll try to do it once a week. Come back in 7 days and have a peek. We're doing it all for free. But if you want to leave us a tip, there's a link, so feel free. And